Hello, and welcome to Module 6 of the Dynamic You program, and we're on the final pillar. Wow, we've gone through 8 pillars over the course of the last 5 weeks, and now is the last one. So it's a little bittersweet because I've watched everybody grow and change and stretch and be challenged through all of those weeks, and now is the final pillar. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you sad? Just kind of check in for a moment. What's your feeling here? There's no wrong feeling. But the last pillar is actually a really lovely combination of a bunch of them. Let me tell you what it is, and I'll tell you how it's a blend of some of them. So this pillar is called Shining. And I've got in my head that song by, I think, Rihanna, Shine Bright Like a Diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. That's about as much as singing I'm going to do. But I even put in the sparkly earrings with the diamonds on it. And you can just imagine that shining, what that means. If we do compare it to a diamond, the shine, the sparkle. And then even when you think of a diamond, what that means. High quality, something you're yearning for, something you're drawn to. Really, the importance of someone who shines, if you actually first think of somebody who shines in your life, somebody who you're like, man, they are just always shining, and you know what it is. It's a little bit different than magnetic, where you're drawn to them. When you're shining, that's definitely happening, but you're looking to kind of shine out, and being magnetic is kind of focusing on pulling in. And so when you're shining, you're actually better able to fill your life purpose. You're better able to go for your dreams. You're also going to feel more satisfied. And that's why I left it till last, because it's a little bit like presence that I brought up with confidence. But when I use the word shine because it's more energetic. It's more dynamic than the word presence. And it has a lot, another focus that I want to talk about. So it is a great blend, like I said, of a lot of the pillars. Mainly, it's pulling from connected, magnetic, and confident. So it comes from connected, magnetic, and confident. And so there are different levels of shining. Well, shining is the ultimate level, but let me tell you all the different levels. And I want you to determine about where you are. And you might be in different levels in different areas of your life. So just kind of listen to them and then think of where am I in my career, and where am I with my friends, and where am I with my family, and where am I in whatever area you're thinking of. So let me go through them. So these different levels are they're talking about how you either show up or you don't show up in the world. And so the lowest possible level is you're actually hiding. So rather than being out and shining, you're staying home. You're holding back. You're keeping yourself in. So that's level 1, hiding. So not shining really at all. The next level is being invisible. So you go out to things and you meet people or whatever, you attend events and you do things, but you're kind of invisible. You're not getting much attention. There's not much happening from you. The next level is blending in. So yes, you're there, and yes, people know that you're there, but you're more just a body in the room. So you're not putting anything out. You're not shining in any way that makes you different from everyone else. And so it's kind of like when you go to an event and everybody's kind of wearing the same thing, or in the winter time, everybody likes to wear black on black, or navy blue and stuff. And so if we think of it just in your appearance, it can be that way, that you just blend in kind of with the uniform of everyone else. It can also be that you're quiet and you don't speak up about anything or ask questions or whatever the event is. Okay, so that's blending in. The next one is when we start to get into shining. This is like if there was the neutral ground, now we've crossed it into more the shining side. And so this one is around being seen. And so you show up and people see you, and people know you're there, and people meet you, and people get a feeling about you. But that's more on the external. So you're seen. Now, the next level, if we go a little bit further towards shining, is being witnessed. And what being witnessed means is you're not just seen, but you share. You share either by talking or by communicating in some way. You share, and people then get a greater understanding of who you are. So you're talking about something, you grab a mic and you ask a question, or you're on stage talking about something, and you open up a little bit more. When you're being witnessed, you're seen in the things that make you unique. You're seen in a way where people can then make an appropriate definition of you or description of you to somebody else. And so if you think of somebody you've just seen around, maybe you see them many places, you see them, but you don't really know them. So that's where we get into the being witnessed. And so maybe you have a conversation with someone, and then at the end you're like, man, like I thought that person was this way, and now I really know this. Or, wow, I thought that they would be, really egotistical because of all their success, but they're very humble. So you then get to really see their underneath. Okay. And so now we're getting really close to shining. And so what is shining? Shining is when you are there and you are yourself and you are noticed by people and you're understood. More the inner side is understood by others. And so it's kind of hard when you go to some events and you don't get to really talk to anybody, or even sometimes I hate hosting parties because I feel like I just go, hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? And I never get to have like a deeper conversation with people. And I'm not witnessed. I'm just seen kind of buzzing around. And so when you're shining, you are in your core competencies. These are the things you were destined to do. These are the things that kind of you have a legacy around. And so sometimes people have said to me, oh man, like when I see you lead something or on stage or telling a story or a joke or something, then that's when I really see who you are. I know a little while back, a friend of mine, there was a picture of her posted online, and she was just smiling and beaming, and it was a fuzzy, grainy picture, but you could just see her spirit almost coming out. And she said, this is how I feel. This picture shows how I feel as a person. And I said, yeah, that's how I see you. And so maybe you have a friend, someone you're close to, and when they're just in their element, you just get to see them shine and see them step into that great person that they are. It's kind of like you are in the moment, and in that moment, it's like nothing can go wrong. And people just want to like eat you up. It's so awesome. And people really appreciate what you're doing. And so shining has such a positive, powerful space in our lives. And so before I kind of talk about the steps and the ways to be shining more in your life, I want to ask a tough question. So I gave you the 6 different levels. So where are you? Where are you in those? And be honest, like, are you being seen, or are you hiding, or are you invisible? Are you blending in? Like, where are you in the different areas of your life? Write that down first if you haven't already. And then I want you to answer this question. So pause if you want to write all this down, and then come back, because I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to have already your answers. Okay? So I'm going to let you pause now. Okay, so welcome back. I have a tough question for you. Based on where you are in those 6 levels, I want to ask you, are others doing this to you? So if you're working for somebody else, are they pushing you down and they're making you invisible? Is a partner, a friend, family members, are they doing this to you? Or are you doing this to yourself? Are you? There's no judgment if others are doing it to you or if you're doing it to yourself. But the truth is, if others are doing it to you, you're letting them do it to you. And so either way, you need to take control over your opportunities to shine and your ability to shine. And I know you can. You've got huge purpose here on earth. And so I hope that we can move you, or I trust we can move you towards the shining space. And so let me go through the 5 different ways that you can increase your ability to shine. You ready? Okay. The first one, be visible. And what do I mean by be visible? Well, be out there in person, live at events, and be online. Have both. And I'm not saying that you need to devote your life to attending events and getting on social media. You just need to dabble a little bit in both just to be out there. Okay, so being visible, be out there, be online, and be live in person at events. Be where your people are. There is no way that you're going to be visible and enjoy shining in places that you don't feel like you should be, or in places where your people aren't. It doesn't mean that be like people exactly like you, just people in a place that you will be able to be visible. And the last part is have your appearance speak the right message. And so being visible doesn't mean you have to hide. It doesn't mean you have to then do the opposite and go like way out there in your appearance. We also don't want that, like be visible because you've got a little hoochie mama tight dress on. We don't want that. But we want you to feel comfortable in your clothes, but not be invisible. And so you can wear the black dress, but maybe put a sparkly necklace on. Or you can, what other ways? If you want to wear just jeans and a t-shirt, that's fine. Maybe wear a pair of killer heels. So think of a way that you can bring out your uniqueness in whatever way. If you're serious, if you're glamour, if you're playful, that what you look like is speaking that about you, but not in a way that's overpowering. So if you were to have like crazy big hair, tons of makeup, all these like fancy clothes and all this bling and jewelry and everything, and all these colors and patterns, and people don't see this anymore. They just see what you're wearing. And this one was a really hard one for me because I thought that being visible, it was important for me. I love bright colors and I love dresses and I love patterns and I love bling. And so I was doing all of that, colors and patterns and bling. And so what was happening was people were getting to know me more for my dresses or talking more about my clothes than about me. And so when I go on to speak on stage now, I actually take a lot of if I have jewelry on, I take a lot of it off. I wear very simple earrings like these ones. And I wear a plain dress. I still wear bright colors because that's still me. And I just tone it down a little bit because I don't want the last thing that they think about for me to be, oh, did you see that great dress she was wearing? And I don't want the first impression of me to be, oh, wow, she has a beautiful necklace. I want them to be more curious about me. And I want the same thing for you. So be visible in how you dress and make sure it's saying the right message about you. Next, celebrate. Celebrate is the second way that you can shine more. And I'm saying celebrate, I'm not saying brag, because I know that you probably have a problem with bragging, but celebrate your successes. Share that with others. Highlight the good in your life. And so when someone says, how's it going? Don't say, yeah, good, fine, whatever. You can say, great, this just happened in my life. Great, I'm running this amazing program with over 20 women and I'm really enjoying it. Or, great, I just hung out with my friend this morning and she and we just have such a strong relationship. Highlight these successes. I don't need to go into all like the secret and the law of attraction stuff, but you get how that helps, right? But more so in the moment of you celebrating is motivation for you to succeed and succeed and have more success. it also draws the right energy towards you. So when you're talking to somebody else about these awesome things that are happening, then more awesome things come, and the person enjoys talking to you, because it's so much nicer to talk to somebody about maybe that great friend that they just hung out with, rather than how they had a fight with their kid in the morning. And I'm not saying that you cannot be real about and like share these personal things. I encourage you to, but it's how you talk about them that's important. So don't start off with a negative Nancy sort of comment or story or experience that you've had. Share something positive, and then as the conversation goes on, if you want to be more vulnerable and talk about obstacles or challenges, that's okay, but highlight the good is important. Highlight the good. And this is live and online. And online. And if you have trouble doing it, then talk about the thing that you're doing rather than yourself, and then eventually it will come. And so you don't need to be like, I am so awesome, I did this program and everybody loves me. Definitely we're not doing that. We're getting to the ego part of confidence, that pillar that we don't want, or arrogance. But to say, I'm so proud of these wonderful ladies, that's you guys, I'm so proud of these ladies who are making these great changes in their lives and becoming even more dynamic. Yeah, I can stand in that, in the success and the positivity of that, because it's true. And while I'm talking about that, it does reflect very well on me. Good job. Good job, ladies. Thank you for that. Okay, so first, be visible. Second, celebrate. And third is speak your heart. I was thinking of calling this one like share your dreams, but I think sharing your dreams is only part of this. Speak your heart. When you can really share what is in your heart and what's close to you and what's important to you, you light up. And so if someone asked me to talk about taxes always get a bad rap in my world, but I don't think really anybody loves doing taxes. If someone said for me to talk about taxes, like, well, you can already see my face just starts to drop. It's not very exciting or anything. But if you ask me to tell you about my son or my daughter, my face is going to light up and you can tell the difference. And so when you speak your heart, you talk about what's so important to you, and your tone changes and the depth of sharing changes. And so you talk about your dreams, you talk about your passions, you talk about your purpose, you talk about these things from your heart. And instead of sharing obstacles, you can share, opportunities, like I have an opportunity to grow here in this way. And you never know what's going to happen. Recently, I was chatting with somebody about how I realized that I had a lot of professional dresses and I didn't have a lot of cocktail dresses. And after also releasing 40 pounds, it's like a lot of my dresses don't fit me anymore. And going to an event for a client of mine, a really big event, I needed an outfit. And I had a very short timeline to find something. And so I couldn't hit a store. And so I reached out to my friends and I said, I really need something so that I can shine, right? So that I can shine at my client's event. And a mom friend of mine stepped up and said, oh, yes, come and shop my closet. And so I ended up getting a beautiful red dress from her for the event. And when I was at the event, I was talking about, she complimented my dress and I said, thank you. And I just shared how happy I was for that relationship that I had with that mom. And what's funny is I even shared how when I was at her house, she was like, oh my gosh, can I have a shower since you're here? And so she went off and showered and I took care of her kids. And we joked about that being my dress payment or rental payment, because there are companies that rent dresses. But anyway, back to my story. So in sharing this and talking about my friend, I was able to, looking back on it, this woman then, who I didn't really know, understood more about me and how I have, how my relationships are with other people. And so how I value the relationship and how I took care of her kids so she could have a shower, but also how my friends are willing to step up and help me out. And so she got to know a lot about me, and I was shining really in that story, but not because I was bragging, but because I was speaking from my heart about things that are important to me. And so, when you share your successes and that's awesome, because you need to celebrate. It's inspiring for others. And then this way, when you talk and share from your heart, people get to know you on the inside, your priorities and your values. And so what was really cool though is she said, oh, you need some party dresses, some cocktail dresses. And I said, yeah, I do. And she says, well, I'll tell you about this special sale that's happening soon. And you can come with me, and then you can get some more party dresses. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, because this special event was only for friends and family of this woman. And so the fact that I got, just because I shared my heart, she then shared with me and let me come to this event. And I'll tell you, I got some good dresses. I will show you guys sometime. Or ask me next time I have a dress on, ask me if it's one of the new ones. And so when you speak from your heart, people really see the inside of you. And so your inside can shine out. And actually, I want to ask, maybe hearing these two, sharing about your successes and sharing from your heart, maybe you're needing to practice one or more of those. So which one is it? Are you good at sharing your successes? Are you good at sharing from your heart? Are you terrible at both? Are you good at both? Maybe let's share that on the Facebook page. Okay, share about which one is easy for you. And if it's not easy, share that too, because I want to support you in finding ways that you can make sure you shine by having these 5 different ways. So let's go through them. We had be visible, celebrate, share from your heart. And the next one is up level. Up level. This is so important. So if we think of the diamond, oh, here's my diamond. Diamonds are awesome. You are awesome. But when a diamond over time needs to be what? Maybe has a little bit of shining done. And so we shine it. And so in order to shine more, we don't want to get dull. And we get dull by staying the same, but by having some friction, having friction put on. Same with metal, having friction put on, the rubbing of it. That's what makes you shine more. Do you agree? Pretty cool metaphor, eh? So if we keep growing, if we keep placing ourselves in situations that help to grow us and put us in new situations with new people who will move us forward, that's how we get up leveled. And so in shining, you need to not just shine within your own pond. So you don't want to be the big fish in your own pond. You want to find another pond and then go and start shining in there. And maybe you feel like, oh, in my pond, my shining is so big. I shine so much. Great. It might be that nobody else is really shining very big. And so it's easy for you to shine big. And so I challenge you to up level in your life by going around other people that shine, going in situations where people are shining, and start to shine your light. Actually reminds me of the fireworks by Katy Perry, that song where like the fireworks come out. I want you to be thinking about this beam of light almost coming out of you and how strong your glow is. You want to be glowing. You want to be pushing this out. And if you're doing it in such a small place, you're not going to have as much of an impact with your purpose and your passions. And so up-leveling is part of shining. And the last one, the 5th one, is say yes to your own opportunities as well as others. So say yes to opportunities, yours and others. So let's talk about both. So you want to shine for your own reasons. And so if you have written a book, you can stand in this is my book, or shine because you're leading something, or shine because you are hosting an event, shine because you did a great job on your project. That's important because that shows what you're doing in your life path. So shine for your own opportunities and then shine for others. And so this client that I have who has this big event, I am going to be having her shine and making sure that she shines really strong as she runs this event. But also by me supporting her, I get to shine. However, you don't want to only ever shine for others' success. You want to shine for your own success as well. That's important. That's important. Because other than in one situation, you're the one shining, right? And in the other one, it's like a whole bunch of lights shining. And so you can imagine kind of the difference between having one big light and having a whole bunch of little lights. And so the little lights, there's rays coming from all different directions. And when it's your light shining for your things, this is going to move you forward more and build your legacy. And so that's what we want to do, is that we shine it for the purpose of living a more fulfilling life. And obviously being a more dynamic woman. That's how we get there. And so these are the 5 ways that you can shine more in your life. Be visible, celebrate, speak your heart, up level, and say yes to opportunities. Okay. And so I was wanting you to put some information on around what level you're at are you being seen? Are you invisible? Which of the 6 levels are you at in how you shine? And also talking about, is it easier to share your successes and celebrate, or is it easier for you to share from your heart? That's the stuff I want you to put on Facebook. But I have to give you your challenge. Are you ready? Okay. The challenge is, I'm going to be sending you a form. And in that form, you're going to be writing down your successes. So just like around the successes in the step 2 of shining, you're going to be writing these things down. And then your challenge is to share your successes online. How's that feel? Scary? I would love to see you shine. I would love to see you on video shining. And so you can pre-record if you want. That's not a problem. Or you can do live video, whatever you want to do. But I want you to talk about how over the past 6 weeks you've changed. How you've stepped into your dynamic you. I want you to highlight all of these amazing things that have happened to you. Why? 1, for the purpose of shining. You're going to be visible. You're celebrating your success. You're going to be speaking from your heart. You're going to be up-leveling yourself, because this is going to be maybe feel a little bit nervous for you. And you're saying yes to an opportunity, because what's the opportunity? When you share this, tag me and tag Dynamic You. And when you put the hashtag Dynamic You and you tag me, then I'm going to be able to see it. And if you tag me, it's going to be on my feed as well. And so this is an amazing opportunity for you to shine to my people. Maybe there's some good opportunities there. Maybe somebody is out there on my list looking for somebody like you. And I know that in you sharing from your heart and sharing your success, that what you're going to do is you're going to inspire others. You're going to motivate others. And that's what dynamic women do, right? We step up and we come to this place where others grow because of us. And so your challenge this week, so you're getting this video Thursday, and you'll get the handout tomorrow on Friday. And then your challenge is that by Monday, you've posted your video. Okay? By Monday that you've posted your video about how you have changed and how you have had all this success. Sound good? You can do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm offering a prize for those who do it, and I'm going to announce what the prize is on Tuesday. So get those videos up and tag me and hashtag Dynamic You. And you can even do a hashtag I am dynamic. I think that's important too, that you really own that. Okay? I feel like I should give you high fives. High fives, high fives. So many high fives right now. It's been my joy to deliver to you these 9 pillars. Thank you so much for being along this journey We're going to do a proper wrap up in our call, but I just wanted to say that now because I felt like it was important to do. And so I'm wishing you a fantastic weekend, and make sure that you're taking every opportunity that you can to shine, ladies. Bye.